Great. Welcome. So thank you everyone for joining us on this beautiful day for our Entrepreneurs with Disabilities Program information session through our services at Community Futures in Manitoba and Saskatchewan. My name is Stephanie Den Hollander, and I am the program coordinator with the Entrepreneurs with Disabilities Program, or as we call it, the EDP program. So that's what we call it for short. So that's what now we'll be referencing it as. And we'll be offering some accommodations today for people who are here in the webinar. So we've got recording. You can also find your closed captioning and use that option so you can follow along with the captions. And also I will be offering described images and of myself. So for myself, for those who want to know what I look like and just have a vision there, I have long blonde hair, straight hair, and I'm wearing a light gray sweater with a zipper, and I'm joining you here from Manitoba today. So welcome. And first we'll start with a land acknowledgement. So I am joining you from Manitoba today and want to acknowledge that I am on the ancestral lands, Treaty 1 territory, traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and on the national homeland of the Red River Métis. I want to acknowledge that for anyone joining us from Saskatchewan today, you joined us, depending on where you are, from your treaty territory, and we acknowledge the traditional homeland of the Métis and honor their contributions. Let's just take a moment of reflection to acknowledge and share in allyship together in our land acknowledgement. Thank you. Okay, so our session today, we will start with a PowerPoint presentation. I'll just ask everyone to keep yourself on mute. If you're able, you can feel free to take note of any questions or discussion points you have, or at any time you can feel free to put your questions in the chat. And I'll be sure to, at the end of our session, go through the chat and address any questions, both verbally and typing responses in the chat. So it'll be about 30 minutes of a presentation, and then we've got 30 minutes, however long we need, for questions and discussion after the session. When we're done today, I'll send everybody an email, those of you who are here live, but also everyone who registered but maybe wasn't able to attend. I'll send out an email that will have all of the links and information, so websites, application forms, everything that we talk about in our session, you'll get in an email. So don't worry about trying to copy and paste and take pictures of website addresses. We'll make that easily accessible for you after the session. And then we'll also send you the link to the recording because, of course, you might want to rewatch it just to affirm some of the information you learned. But you can also feel free to share it with anyone who you feel might benefit from the programs and services that we have in our EDP program at Community Futures. Okay, so, and also if at any time there's an accessibility need or you need an accommodation, type it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself to ask if I need to slow down or share any information again that can't wait until the end. Please just let me know for sure. Okay, I'll get started here with our PowerPoint. Great. So welcome, and you're here today to learn all about our Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program and the services that we have available. So we support all entrepreneurs who are managing a health issue. So that could be a disability or any type of health condition. We're going to talk more later about what that means and how we define that and what eligibility is for our services. But in general, that's what we do. Here, we just like to highlight a few of the entrepreneurs that we have supported. Of course, we've supported many folks over the years. Here's just a few in Saskatchewan. We have Bruce from North Battleford, Saskatchewan, with his Cama Cooler invention, which actually is a really neat invention to support those to be cool in bed. So if you've got, a health condition or a disability, mobility related need, and you need to rest a lot, it helps, offer a cooling fan under the covers and the blankets to help with that comfort level. So a great invention. We've got Vanessa Savage, and she operates Tisdale Florist and many other things through her florist business in Tisdale, Saskatchewan. And we've got Michelle with Michelle Jansen Signature Cakes and Cookies in Waldheim, Saskatchewan. In Manitoba, here are a few of the entrepreneurs that we've supported. We've got Kaylee with Educom, offering kind of a health and holistic wellness services to schools and other opportunities. We've got Jeff with JB Small Engine and Laura with Nickels and Dimes Money Mentoring. So our services through Community Futures are delivered by 267 independent nonprofits across rural Canada. And our Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program offers services in 90 of those offices in rural and 6 urban offices. So here on the screen, we've got a map of Saskatchewan, and it shows the different areas where each of our 13 Community Futures offices operates. So out of those 13 offices, the entire province is covered. So no matter where you live, we have services available to you. And on this slide, we've got a map of Manitoba. And so there are 16 offices in Manitoba offering services across the province, depending on where you live. So now I think is a great time to just, for those who are comfortable, if you just want to share where you're joining us from today, type it in the chat, whether you're here from Saskatchewan and what region in Saskatchewan or what town or city. And if you're joining us from Manitoba, just type that in the chat. Let us know what region, town, or community you're in, just to get a sense of where everyone's at and build some community here together today. And if you are not able to type in the chat, if you're joining from a phone or another device, you can certainly unmute yourself and share that with us as well if you'd like.
Hi, it's Melissa Green, and I am not in Canada, but I am in the USA, and I'm actually, I live in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Okay, great. Welcome.
Yep.
Wonderful to have you with us today. Okay. So now we'll talk about the services that we offer through the EDP program. So we have one-to-one business consultation, business plan development, business resources and training, and access to repayable loans for viable businesses up to the amount of $150,000. And so here on the screen, we have an image of, a number of people who they're at a conference event in Manitoba. And so it's just some EDP clients. We have a young man wearing a blue shirt, red hat, and sunglasses with a cane, an older woman with short blonde hair and glasses and a pink sweater, a younger lady with blonde hair and glasses, and then a middle-aged woman with dark hair and glasses and a black shirt. Okay, so one of the things that we have available in our Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program are called our 750 grants for business services. So for any entrepreneur, whether you're a long-standing existing business owner, or you're a brand new business or a fairly new business, and you're an entrepreneur living with a disability or health condition in a rural area in Manitoba or Saskatchewan, you can apply for up to $750 in either business mentoring services or digital marketing services. So how the grant works, first I'll talk about the business mentoring. And so here we have an image. There are 2 women sitting at a laptop looking at some information in our image here. And so the business mentoring services, as a small business owner, you have to do all the things. And it can feel really overwhelming from needing to manage human resources, ordering products or offering services, creating and making the products that you offer, and bookkeeping, all of those things. And it can sometimes feel overwhelming and not, how do we find all the information? And YouTube is great for, searching up and watching a video.
You allowed me.
There we go. Thanks for muting. So if you are learning something new or you're expanding and growing your business, it can be really helpful instead of watching a YouTube, although those are very helpful too, can be great to have one-on-one support from a business mentor. So someone who can actually meet with you, sit down, talk about your business, what you want to learn, and how they can be most helpful for you, and connect it directly to the work that you're doing in your small business. So that could be something like you've expanded and you are growing to sell some of your products on an e-commerce website, and it's all sort of new and overwhelming, and you want to learn from someone who operates a business, an e-commerce site, so that you can kind of learn payment processing and what some of the best, learn from what they experienced. Or, you just purchased a Square payment system and you're not sure how it all works, and you just really want someone to help you get it set up for your business. So what we can do is then connect you. You can apply for a $750 grant, and then we work with you to find a business mentor in the area that you feel you would benefit from training in. And then you can, once you're approved, then they offer you the service and we pay them directly for their service. So it's a win-win. As the entrepreneur, you receive the support and training that you need to move forward and succeed in your business. And then the mentor receives, financial payment for the services that they've offered to you. And we like to use a mentor either in your community or certainly in your province, so that we're able to keep, that economic support in your region as well. So it really is a win-win. So we want those dollars to go back to your communities. So the same thing goes very similar for our digital marketing grant services. So our image here on this side of the slide is of a laptop, and then there's typing on the screen that says digital marketing, and there's a keyboard in the image as well. So here we look at, if you're an entrepreneur, you're just starting out and you don't have social media pages, or you want to get some photography to upgrade your website, or you want to take a big chunk out of the cost of developing your website or revamping your website, that's what the $750 grant could be used for in digital marketing services. Anything like that. So any type of digital creation for marketing products would be eligible for this grant. So that in the same way, you would find someone either in your community that you've worked with before, a digital marketing organization, or you need to be connected with someone new. We'll help you connect with someone in your area or elsewhere, if you've got a preference for who a service provider you would like to use. And then once you're approved for that grant, they offer the service and we pay them directly. So it's a win-win. You get the digital marketing content up to the amount of $750, and they receive, that economic boost in your region or your province as well for the services that they offer to you. So it can be really helpful. We have this funding available every fiscal year. And funding is, we sort of have a set amount of dollars, so it's limited, based on the number of applications we get every year. But certainly, if you don't capture it in this year, then you can always apply again next year and plan for that. So we encourage you to reach out. Again, the link is at the bottom of this slide. Don't worry about that though, because I will send it in the follow-up email, or you can take a picture of the screen if you like as well. And then just so that you stay in the loop, we are on Facebook and Instagram. So we often post just inspirational things. We also post about upcoming conferences, trainings, new programs and projects that we have going, or grants available that you might be interested in. So it's great to just stay connected and be aware of what we might have available. So now I want to talk more about our Business Builder program. So this is an exciting 3-year project that we received funding for through the Opportunities Fund for People with Disabilities through the federal government. So this is all about supporting the launch of new businesses in rural communities for those entrepreneurs who are living with a health condition or a disability. So to highlight the program here, and here we have what I really love. There's an image here at the top of the screen of a young lady with long, flowing, reddish pink hair, some really unique, cool, funky sunglasses on, and a nice dress. And so we have a quote by Rachel, and she says, "Don't let your health concerns get in the way of fulfilling your dreams." And that's really what the Business Builder program is all about. We want to support entrepreneurs living with disabilities and health conditions to remove some of those barriers and access to being successful to start their own businesses. And why it's so important is because self-employment is a great option for people living with a disability or a health condition, because it offers you the opportunity to provide the service or the product that you are really good at doing to showcase your talents and your skills and your passions, but also you've got a lot more flexibility. So we know that, living with multiple sclerosis isn't a Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 gig. And so you can maybe benefit from flexibility. Maybe you're feeling better and have more energy at 2 in the morning versus 9 in the morning. And so working in a traditional 9 to 5 job might not work well for you. Whereas if you own your own business and you're self-employed, you've got a lot more flexibility on the hours of work, the number of hours, the time of day, and the type of tasks and work that you are doing. And so it's an incredible option. So here's how we get you there. So this program, our highlights are we have 60 spots to support entrepreneurs across 2 provinces, so across Manitoba and Saskatchewan. What we offer is 16 weeks of training. So that's really business 101 training. And we'll talk a little bit more about it in our next slide. And then we do support entrepreneurs, of course, across both provinces. And as you remember, we have 13 offices in Saskatchewan and 16 in Manitoba. So then we're able to reach 29 regions in both provinces and work alongside those offices for any entrepreneurs who are looking for support. So some of the different supports and services that we have that really help us to elevate and enhance what we're able to do to support entrepreneurs through our EDP program. Looking at the business supports, so for travel dollars, well, as rural entrepreneurs and the cost of living, which we don't need to talk too much about, we're all well aware of that, it can be really costly and might be a barrier for you if though your regional office, it could still be 5 minutes away from where you live, or it might be an hour and a half away from where you live to meet with our Community Futures team at your regional office. So we do have funding for travel to support, phone is great, email, Zoom, text, but sometimes it's nice to meet in person if you feel like you would benefit from that. Or as you're kind of getting ready to launch, to just go over those final details and your business plan and some of those cash flow projections, an in-person meeting might be helpful for you. So we have travel dollars to support, reimbursing you for mileage for traveling from your home and your community to the regional office of Community Futures so that you can meet with the staff there. We also offer accommodations for disability and or health related needs. So that could be in this program, entrepreneurs, once approved and starting in the program, go through a 1 hour vocational assessment. And what that assessment does is it really provides the opportunity for us to learn more and for you to learn more about what your needs are, what your strengths are, and anything that we can offer that would be helpful to give you full access and supportive accommodations to fully benefit from our business training, from your business plan development if you need some additional support for that, and then to be ready to move into launching your business. And so everyone will have a very individualized journey through the Business Builder program because we do have, those specialized accommodations according to what your needs are. Through that vocational assessment, people only need to share what they feel comfortable sharing, but knowing that it's all really to benefit you in a positive way. Because the more we know, the better able we are to put extra supports and resources in place that could be helpful for you. And so that'll just look different for everyone. Some things that we do have that we have offered, so it's nice to give examples. We have supported a client living with a spinal condition, and it's difficult to sit for long periods of time and they need some flexibility. But knowing going through business training and lots of time sitting and attending meetings, that she would benefit from the opportunity to have a sit to stand desk so that she can adjust and take a break to stand for a bit and then rest and sit, and vice versa, and also a proper ergonomic chair. So that was identified through her assessment, and then a recommendation was provided to us, and we were able to purchase a sit to stand desk and an ergonomic chair because it's important for her health condition. Another entrepreneur was able to receive a noise canceling headphones because he was living with hearing loss. And so to have full access to the online training without being distracted by background noise and other things going on, he found those headphones really helpful. Something else we also have been able to offer are mental health supports and counseling. So a lot of times in rural areas, there might be limitations or long wait lists to access, provided mental health care through your health region. And so knowing that private healthcare to really hone in and find a certified therapist in your area, in the area that you would most benefit from support in, can be really helpful, especially as you're going through. It's such an exciting time to start a business and learn all these things, but it can also be stressful and overwhelming and cause anxiety. So that mental health support can be really helpful to have in place as you're going through the Business Builder program. We also have funding for childcare. And so that can be another barrier. There are a lot of parents who want to be entrepreneurs, who've got great ideas, but maybe they're just holding off on starting that business because they're waiting until their kids are in school full time or a little bit older so they're a bit more independent. By being able to offer childcare funding during your business training, gives a bit more freedom and flexibility to start thinking about, hey, maybe I can do this now. And we've supported many parents to be able to start their businesses a couple years sooner than they would have been because they had that childcare funding in place. And then we've got business plan development. So of course, you'd be working with our Community Futures staff to develop your business plan and plan for what that implementation and launch will look like. And we've got great templates and resources to help you do that. And then our business training. So I mentioned those 16 weeks of business training. So I'll tell you a little bit more about what it looks like. So we've got our Build a Better Business program in both Manitoba and Saskatchewan. So that's a 10 module self-directed business training program that's all online. So it is accessible. We do know that, for some people living in really remote areas, sometimes internet access or technology might be a barrier, but we are dedicated to finding solutions to help with that too. So if technology and internet access is an issue, we can definitely try to work around that. But overall, it's generally quite accessible for people. And so those 10 modules cover all kind of business 101. So it helps you learn a solid foundation of general business knowledge in a lot of different areas to help you get started as a new business owner. So you cover things like business startup, business planning, credit and financing, human resources, basic bookkeeping, branding and marketing. So all of those different types of areas. And then you can really focus more, depending on what your business idea is, focus more on the areas that you need the most support and information in. So you go through that on your own time. We consider 10 weeks, the timeline to complete that at about one module per week. Takes about 1.5 hours to complete each module. You get a workbook and a manual, and there's a video to watch for each module. But of course, if you have more time and availability, then you can complete that completely on your own time and on your own timeline much quicker. So that can be also very tailored to what works well for you and flexible. The remaining 6 weeks is our business incubator program. And that one is at a set time. And so we have a cohort, a group of entrepreneurs who are all at a similar stage in the Business Builder program, about 15 people in a group. When they're ready to go, we have a group starting actually next week of 15 entrepreneurs, and they come together in this 6-week program. So it's one session per week for about an hour and a half for 6 weeks. And so they come together. It's really that opportunity to take everything you've learned in your business training, what you've worked on so far on your business plan, and really plan to move that into activation phase, because we can do all of this hard work and learn so many new things. Now, what are we going to do with it? That's how we get to launch. And we need support and we need empowerment and also accountability and some structure to have, a 30-day plan, a 60-day plan, and a 90-day plan to be ready to launch your business. You might adjust some things, sharing ideas with each other. And you might have a group of 15 people with completely different business ideas, but you can share strategies and tools and just things that have been helpful, but also support each other. So it's a great opportunity to build relationships and connection and a network with other entrepreneurs having similar shared experiences. And that's really important because, like you say, being an entrepreneur can be lonely. It can feel isolating at times, especially in rural areas, depending on where you are and what your business all involves. So it's a great opportunity to connect and have support. And then, of course, business launch. So you receive support from our Community Futures team to launch your business and receive ongoing business aftercare. So just because you finish the Business Builder program, you can access support and services, or just, you want to talk things through or adjust things in your business plan or your business model. Our team at Community Futures, every office is here and available to support you in that. So thinking about the Business Builder program, because of course we provide support to anyone living with a disability or a health condition, and there's certain things that make someone a great fit for this Business Builder program because it is a special sort of project with these criteria. So if you're thinking about this for yourself, or if you're here as a service provider and you're thinking of someone who you might know or work with and you want to share the opportunity, this Business Builder program is really for people who are ready to launch their business within 6 months. So you're kind of ready with a solid business idea and a plan that you're ready to start activating. And that you're looking for support and business training to become self employed. So we do have sometimes people who already are an existing business owner, but maybe they've kind of jumped in with the passionate idea and they just want to get going, but then they realize, ooh, like I'm kind of struggling in some of these areas. So maybe I should have taken some business training, or maybe I should have had a professional formal business plan that would help me be more successful in my business. So they kind of want to come back and build that solid foundation to be successful in maintaining their business or growing their business even bigger. So they could be a great fit too. It doesn't have to be a brand new business. Or it could be for someone who's maybe been creating a product and selling at a local farmer's market and they've been really successful, lots of demand for more. And so you're thinking about, okay, how could I grow my business? Maybe I want an e-commerce website. Maybe I want to sell my products and have them at stores in different ways. So I'm not just at farmer's market. So any type of business growth would be eligible as well as a brand new business. But if you've owned businesses for 20 years, multiple businesses, and you could facilitate our business training Foundation 101, then likely this program is not the best fit for you. We definitely would have other business supports and services available to help with whatever your business need is, but just because you would probably be beyond the knowledge that's offered in the training. So we really look at everyone on an individual basis just to help make a recommendation for what would be most helpful for you. And then we're also requiring that everyone is self declaring as a person with a disability or a health condition. And that literally is just a checkbox. And why that is, well, why I like it so much is because you're not held back by a bunch of paperwork and overwhelming documentation or paying your doctor to fill out an 8-page form for you just to qualify for our services. And so I really like that because it offers easy access. You don't have to go into detail and explain your diagnosis if you don't want to, but it really is, people often say, well, what is a disability or a health condition? Because sometimes there's stigma around what that means or what we think it means and how we understand it. So, what we talk about here and what we're looking for, a health condition or disability can be anything from asthma, arthritis, diabetes, maybe being a cancer survivor and having lasting, ongoing effects medically from some of the medications you're taking. Could be living with hearing loss or vision need, anxiety, depression, ADHD. So it's a really broad spectrum. So we don't want to define that in a box. So how we really help people understand that is if you consider for yourself that you wake up in the morning and you have something related to your health that you need to manage on a daily basis, no matter what that looks like for you, you could define that as yourself and self declare as a person living with a health condition or a disability. So it's very broad and it's not restrictive. And it's just very inclusive and understanding in how we look at that. And the program is also open to newcomers, so that's permanent residents, refugees. And we've had a few people inquire about those who came from the Ukraine because they came to Canada under a different immigration category. It's not a refugee status. But certainly for any newcomer Ukrainians, then we would interested in the program, we would explore eligibility with them individually. So we would still encourage them to apply, and we would just work with the government to see how that would fit in the category that they have there. And then, of course, the program is open to youth. So anyone age 15 years and up is eligible for the Business Builder program. So this could be a really great option for some of those youth that maybe offer a product or a service and they are looking to just start up their business, have a little side hustle because maybe they don't fit into the traditional, working in a fast food restaurant or something like that. And this could be a great option for them to have something creative and innovative to do as a young person in self-employment. So we just like to share a couple of examples so you can envision this opportunity because we love to create opportunities for people. That's what it's all about. So here we have Clint. And so in the images on the slide here, we have Clint. He's an older gentleman with white hair and black glasses. In the first picture, he's in a gray t-shirt and he's got his rolled up yoga mat and he's standing in a nice indoor garden. And then the second picture is we've got Clint and he's sitting down having a meeting with a woman with short gray hair and a brown blazer. And Clint is sitting at a laptop because he's working on his business plan. So Clint has a passion for health, and he's completed training to become certified as a yoga teacher. He's casually started teaching yoga classes for seniors at his local community center. He's ready to formalize his yoga teacher practice and develop his business plan to provide restorative yoga for seniors and officially launch his business by fall of 2024. So we're checking the box here on self-employment. What a great option for Clint to earn some additional income as an older adult. Great impact on the community. Talk about all of the other seniors who are going to benefit from his restorative yoga classes and their health, and then positive economic impact in his community. And now we have Kayla. So the image here on this slide, we've got two women sitting at a table in a coffee shop near a window. They've got a laptop and some snacks in front of them on the table. One lady's wearing a pink sweater. She's got short brown hair and dark glasses. And the other lady's wearing a nice pale pink blazer. She's got dark hair in a ponytail. So Kayla is a young mother of two. She enjoys coffee and connecting with people. She started a coffee and chat group that meets twice per week in her community. Everybody loves her snacks and treats. They're delicious. So as this group has continued to grow and people want more, Kayla has an idea to open up her own coffee shop in town. She's ready to develop her formal business plan and officially launch her business by fall of 2024. So we're checking that box on self-employment. Great opportunity for Kayla. Community impact. People in her community are coming together, connecting with one another. Really a tremendous benefit for everyone. And then a positive impact on the economy locally. Our last example here, the image on this screen, we've got Brent. So Brent is a mechanic. He's got 10 years experience and he's been off work due to a health condition. So Brent is here in the image, leaning over a vehicle, completing some mechanic repairs. He's got dark black hair, dark skin, and he's wearing a brown flannel shirt. He's ready to start working again, but he wants better control of his working hours so that he can manage his health condition, and he wants to set up his own shop. And again, I'm going back to it. Self-employment is an incredible option for people living with a health condition and a disability. Because if we think of, and we always strive to support employers to understand how to accommodate employees, to be flexible, to have, innovative ideas so that people can maintain their jobs and be successful in their jobs. However, some industries and some workplace models aren't as easy to accommodate as others. So if we think about Brent as a mechanic, a lot of mechanic shops, they have to take on all different types of jobs. So when a job gets booked in, the mechanic just has to do what's on the work order. Well, that might not work for Brent. There might be certain jobs as a mechanic that he is better able to do, and others might really impact his health condition. So if he's his own boss and he owns his own shop, then he has control over the type of work that he markets himself to do for customers and builds a customer base based on what he can offer. And then he has control of that and also has control over his working hours. So if he's maybe better to work in the evening or, just reduced hours in the week, then he can communicate that with his customers. It becomes known and he takes on only what he can manage and works well for him. So it just really offers that flexibility. And if he needs time to sort of rest and recover a little bit and manage his health, then he can take on less jobs. Whereas if he was working for an employer, Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, not as much flexibility and opportunity for accommodations necessarily. So we're happy for Brent. He's ready to develop his formal business plan and officially launch his business by fall of 2024. Self-employment for him, great impact on the community because everyone's always looking for a good mechanic, and then great economic impact in his area as well. So Entrepreneurs in the Business Builder program learn new business skills, access support services, bringing new businesses to the community, and contributing to the local economy. And here in this image on the slide, we've got a group of various, background women. They're working on, looks like creating some crafting wreaths together and laughing and connecting together in their community. So as you've learned a little bit more about the program and knowing that it could be really individualized based on where someone's at with their business idea and personally and with their health related needs, think about who can benefit from this program in your community. Maybe you joined us today because you're exploring this option for yourself. Maybe you joined us because you're a service provider and you wonder if this might be helpful for you to refer some of the people that you're working with to, or you're just here to learn more and you might be thinking about a coworker or a neighbor or a family member who might be a great fit for the Business Builder program. So connect with people, start having conversations. Nothing feels better than someone saying, you know what? I attended a webinar yesterday. I learned about this program and I thought you might be interested. I'm going to share this information with you. And people know you're thinking about them and then they can check it out and see if it's a good fit for them. Also, if you're ever wondering or something for yourself, I always welcome the opportunity to have a conversation and connect with people so that we can learn more. I want to talk about, tell me your story, where you're coming from, and then we can start navigating what might be the best support and services and some resources for you. So feel free to respond. I'll email after the session today with all of the links and some information. And if you want to set up a time to just either have a phone call or a Zoom call with me afterwards, we can arrange that for another day that works well for our schedules and just chat more. And I'm happy to help. So this program started we opened our intake in July of 2023. And you'll remember from our highlights, we've got 60 spaces. And so we are almost full, which is incredibly exciting, but also then lets me know if you're interested, then you should get your application in sooner rather than later. So we've got our links here. I'll also send them in the email so that you've got great access to get your applications in. So how it works is it's a really simple website application. It's basically your name, your contact information. You'll check that self-declaration box as a rural entrepreneur living with a disability or health condition. You'll check a box giving us consent to contact you. And then we just ask you, tell us a little bit about your business and have you already launched or when are you planning to launch? And then what we do, when I receive all the applications automatically through our website, I'll review your application and then I'll look up, the regional office either in Saskatchewan or Manitoba, wherever you live, and then I'll make a connection with you and that office so the team there can connect with you to learn more about your business. And then we see if this program is a good fit for you, or maybe we've got some other opportunities that would be a great fit for you. So it kind of just gets the ball rolling and then we'll follow up with you from there. Sometimes we do have people who are joining us. So, we've got some people from the USA here today, but also people who are living in an urban location in either Manitoba or Saskatchewan. So if you are joining us from Winnipeg today or you're interested in services in Winnipeg, there is an EDP program in Winnipeg. So we've got the website there and a phone number. And also we've got Rise Winnipeg. So they operate through Canadian Mental Health Association. So offering support to entrepreneurs who are living with a mental health needs. So that could be a really great fit. They offer that specialized service. And then in Saskatchewan, in Regina and Saskatoon, we've got EDP services in both of those cities. So for urban entrepreneurs, we've got you covered, and I'll provide that information in the link as well. Let me know if you have more questions. So like I say, Susan had to excuse herself today. She's our program manager, that's Susan Bader. That's her email address. And again, my name is Stephanie Den Hollander, and I'm the program coordinator. And here on the screen, we've got our logo for our Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program. So it's almost a nice group of multicolored leaves, green, yellow, burgundy, light green, red, blue, and dark green, kind of in the shape of a flower. Putting those leaves together, and then it says Entrepreneurs with Disabilities Program. So again, we are funded by the Government of Canada's Opportunities Fund for People with Disabilities. And so now we'll have time I'll just check out the chat and see if there are any questions and anyone who wants to have a discussion. Great. Oh, we'll see where everyone's from. We've got some Swan River, Saskatoon, Regina, Prince Albert, Flin Flon. Right on. Okay, perfect. Yep, the start date. So we opened in July, intake's still open until we're full, basically. But again, if you apply and we're full, then we will definitely still support you and offer business services. This recording, you bet. I'm going to upload it to our Entrepreneurs with Disabilities YouTube page. But once it's uploaded, I will copy the link and I'm going to paste it in the email that I will send out following this session. So there you go, Josh. You'll have the link to the recording, no problem. You're welcome. Okay. And just before, before anyone jumps off, I'm just interested if you want to either unmute yourself or type in the chat if there's anything from the session today that interested you or excited you the most. So anything that you are planning on following up on, are you looking for Business Builder? Are you maybe thinking about applying for one of our 750 grants? Are you going to pass it along to someone you're thinking of or for yourself? Just kind of helpful for us to know what connected most with you and maybe how we can follow up with you following the session. So if you know that and you're comfortable typing that in the chat, or you can unmute yourself, feel free. Great. Business Builder Program. I'm going to watch for your application, Jackie. Perfect. Right on. Good, good, good. Okay. And like I say, after our session today, just give me about a half an hour or so to get the recording uploaded. And then as soon as it's done, I'll have that email out. So watch your inboxes and you'll have the email and you can follow up from there. Wonderful. Yes, Gloria. Good. Yeah, perfect. Good question. Can we combine a $750 grant and the Business Builder program? You absolutely can. So we do have people, and we also like to plan to maximize on all of our resources because we have a lot more resources available through our Community Futures offices and different programs going on that, we just didn't have time to cover today. So we really look at all the things available to an entrepreneur because we also have some indigenous business services programs that are available and they have different grants and mentorship. So we look at everything available and eligible to an entrepreneur and their situation. And then we kind of plan to say, okay, so if someone's in the Business Builder program, something that might be most helpful for them when they're planning to launch a new business might be getting some of that digital marketing support because you want to have some content for social media pages or get that website started. So that can be a great grant to apply for that would complement your launch in the Business Builder program. So you can either be in the Business Builder program and apply for a 750 grant, or you can just be, an EDP client and apply for a 750 grant. So there's no criteria either way. The other thing about the $750 grants is that if you get approved for one, let's say this year, and you use it for digital marketing, you can apply again after one full fiscal year has passed. So if I get a grant this year, then next year, our fiscal year is April 1st through March 31st. So then I wouldn't be able to apply in the next fiscal year, but after that, then I can apply again. Maybe then I'm ready for some more digital marketing content, or maybe I want a business mentor because I'm looking at exporting some of my products and services, and that's new for me. And so I want to work with someone who's working in export in their business. So great options there. And lots of resources, lots of free trainings that our various Community Futures offices offer from time to time. And we've got, other digital support programs in both provinces and trainings. So once or if you're already, you can check out on our website, if you don't already know who your local Community Futures team is, on the Community Futures Manitoba and Saskatchewan websites, you can look up where your closest office is. So you type in your community name, so it says find an office near you. You type in your community, and your regional office will pop up so that you can connect with them. Because I encourage you, follow them on social media, check out their website, chat with them, so that you're in the loop when they might maybe are hosting in-person events, free online training, lots of resources. It's a great connection for you to have and network in your community as either new business owner or an existing business owner, and you want to strengthen those relationships. For sure. You're welcome. Great. Okay, so thank you everyone for being here today. If there are no other questions, I'm so excited and grateful for your time in being here. Please watch your email. Let me know if you have questions. And definitely, I look forward to seeing some applications come in. Feel free to forward my email and all those links in the recording to anyone else you know who might benefit. We want this information to reach as many people as possible, and we're thrilled to get to know you and the people in your networks and offer support and information. So thanks everyone. Great. Okay, take good care. Thanks for joining me.